Now, full disclosure, I am recording this video on the night of Monday, April 15th. This will be uploaded tomorrow morning, and by the time it is uploaded, we may have ourselves some Montreal Canadiens preliminary lines, maybe some new pairings, maybe some new whatever, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. Instead, what I wanted to focus on was just the recalling itself, because after the Canadiens dropped the extremely incredible game that was the 5-4 comeback by Lucas Raymond to the Red Wings yesterday, we had ourselves news that the Canadiens have recalled defenseman Logan Mailloux from the Laval Rocket. This, of course, is a pretty big deal because, assuming the Canadiens actually play Logan Mailloux, this would be a birthday gift for the ages for one of the Montreal Canadiens' former first-round picks. Now, Mailloux, as we have just talked about, was born on April 15th, 2003, so as he had turned 21 years old, this call-up seems to have been one of the best gifts he could have received. And for good reason too, not just for him, but for the Canadiens, because Logan Mailloux, as a 6'3", 212 right-handed defenseman who was a 31st overall pick by the Canadiens in 2021, has indeed improved his stock in a pretty significant way. He was drafted out of the Hockey Etain SK Legion, where he had himself a very detrimental situation with him photographing a certain individual. It was very bad. It was absolutely terrible. And the pick itself, when Logan Mailloux was picked by Marc Bergevin and the Canadiens, it was a really controversial one at the time. Because Logan Mailloux was a guy who, in the eyes of some people, could have been seen as a potential late first-round guy, but he was ranked to go somewhere in the 50s by some of these scouting outlets. Not only was he a guy who had this huge controversy looming over his head, but he also was projected to go a little bit later than where the Canadiens took him in the first place, so that kind of stacked on top of each other when it came to questioning the Canadiens' picking of Mailloux. But as the years went on, for Logan Mailloux, it was very, very apparent that he was contrite and apologetic for the terrible thing that he did in Sweden. He worked with several different organizations to get him to the proper place, and of course to try and do what he can to make up for what it was that he did. But as he continued his hockey playing career, he ended up not playing the season for the 2021-2022 London Knights because of that situation. As he returned to London, though, he was an under-point-per-game defenseman in the regular season, getting 53 points in 59 games played. He also had 24 points in 21 playoff games, and it was pretty good. I mean, realistically, Logan Mailloux was showcasing a lot of the skills that made him a projectable player by the Canadiens in the first place. His heavy shot, his ability to create offense, his big size, his frame, etc. It was all there in the OHL. And much to the surprise of many Canadiens fans, it carried over pretty seamlessly into the Laval Rocket. Mailloux had 47 points in 70 games played, 14 goals and 33 assists, as the Rocket are wrapping up their season, and heading over to the Montreal Canadiens, maybe to play just one game to end off the 23-24 year. This is a pretty good reward for a guy who has not only improved on the ice in terms of his hockey playing, but who has also taken some very necessary steps to right some of the wrongs and make progression forward as a person, as a human being, off the ice. So for Logan Mailloux, there are some other things that you can talk about when it comes to him being a hockey player who is now on the Montreal Canadiens. This is what Hattie K went out there and said. I like Hattie's analysis a lot because they're one of the most trusted, I'd say, prospect resources for Canadiens lore that I follow, at least. Hattie's a good buddy of mine. But Logan Mailloux got called up. He had a good AHL season. His decision-making is still a major issue in his game, though. The issues I have with Justin Barron, I also have with Logan Mailloux. Both of them on the same roster might be an issue, but we'll see how that goes live tomorrow. It's no secret that I didn't like the pick for more than one reason. Everything I've heard since then has given me some relief that the Montreal Canadiens were not just waiting for this to blow over, but with the Habs not PRing the hell out of his growth process, which is good. No one really knows. The progress in his offensive skill set has been impressive. More confident in the offensive zone, his shot only got harder with development. He's gotten a lot more composed and simplified things as well. He still makes weird decisions on both sides of the puck, though. I believe in redemption, as long as it comes with tangible, concrete proof of growth. It's a difficult dilemma because, like a lot of well-meaning Habs fans, I want receipts, but also think that broadcasting his growth process to the fanbase would be performative and shallow. Anyway, all this to say, I'm looking forward to seeing how Mailloux has grown on and off the ice. I'm still skeptical, but I'm working on it. And I wanted to bring this up in this video because This point that Hattie makes about the Canadiens not really PRing the hell out of his growth process was a good thing. I actually tend to agree with that, because it was no secret that there was a super terrible thing that Mailloux did before getting drafted. But the Montreal Canadiens, over the years, they had an opportunity to tweet the hell out of this guy and shove it down everybody's throats. Oh yeah, he's doing all these crazy things, he's scoring these goals, he's getting these points, but they didn't end up doing that. Not necessarily because they don't believe in the guy, but because just kind of reading the room and taking a look at the social media atmosphere, you could understand why they would be a little bit hesitant to do that, in the same way that they've been promoting the heck out of guys like Hudson and all the other prospects they have had over the years. For Logan Mailloux, they gave him the space to at least work on himself in these off-ice programs that he was going through and exhibited throughout his growth. So I do tend to agree with a lot of these points being made over here. And also, when it comes to Mailloux and the strict gameplay side of it all, you do have some Canadiens fans on the subreddit who go out there and describe this pretty well. Honestly, I truly think management is smart, and this is the best time to pull the recall. 1. He deserves it. I watched a lot of Rockets games and he improved immensely. One of the best defensemen in the AHL is a rookie that missed a ton of hockey in the last few years. 2. The recall is late tonight and for tomorrow night, so media that want to stir some crap up won't have much time to do it. And even then, Hudson's first home game will take a lot of airtime anyways. Mailloux's first NHL game will not be a distraction for the team coming next October. Mailloux's first NHL game will be dealt with this season. And finally, Mailloux will see where he needs to be against a very motivated NHL team in Detroit. He'll see what he needs to work on this summer and be ready to make the jump. And they increase their chances to lose the game and remain at 5th last. That's also a pretty good thing. Not saying that Mailloux is a terrible player, just saying taking out an NHL caliber defenseman and putting Mailloux in will make the team worse on paper, technically. I wonder where he'll slot in. Matheson, Barron, Harris, Mailloux, Hudson, Savard. Maybe no Jordan Harris, who really knows. Again, this video is being pre-recorded, so by the time it's uploaded, maybe we already have some Canadiens lines. If Mailloux doesn't end up playing, then this kind of makes everything a little bit weird. Maybe they're just intent on giving him NHL salary for one day out of the 23-24 season, but for now, this is a very good player that has been called up to the Canadiens, who has seemingly, very honestly, put himself in a position to grow and be better than the person that he was multiple years ago. He's worked on himself on and off the ice, and we may see him suiting up for the Canadiens against the Red Wings later today. So, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Logan Mailloux getting the call-up and him being a part of the Canadiens for his 21st birthday. Thoughts in the comment section as to how he is going to play and how he has played so far if you've been paying attention to the Laval Rocket games. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.